Let's say that you're listening to music and I suddenly come up to you and ask you, who are you in this moment? Now, how would you respond to that question immediately and spontaneously without stopping to look for words? Maybe you'd start humming the melody of the song. Maybe you'd respond with asking me, who are you in this moment? But on the other hand, if you stop and think, what you'll say is not about the present moment, but it's about the past. You start telling me your name, your address, what you do, your past experiences. Except my question was not who you were, but who are you right now? In this video, we're going to be discussing that to be aware of reality of this present moment is to realize that in every moment, experience is everything. Experience is all. There is nothing outside of it, not an I or a me living the experience. The stuff that I'm going to be talking about in this video is from the book Wisdom of Insecurity by Alan Watts. I read it in Romanian. It's called Insecurity and Insecurity. And the chapter that we're going to be talking about is called Minunatul Moment, which means the wonderful moment. And I really enjoyed the works of Alan Watts, and I really wanted to share it with you because I think that this is very interesting, and I won't be able to fit this whole chapter into one video, so I'm going to split it up into different parts. So this is part 1 of this chapter from this book. And right now you might be thinking that, what are you talking about, that there is no experiencer experiencing the experience? I can feel myself, I am right there, I am experiencing the experience. But even in the most obvious moments of self-awareness, this self that we are aware of is always either a sensation or some kind of emotion, some kind of experience. You might feel the sensation of your muscles tensing, the feeling of cold or hot, blood pumping in your veins, the sensation of breathing, the sensation of pain or irritation. These are all just sensations and emotions. But you never feel the one who feels. You are never aware of feeling this eye that perceives all these sensations and feelings. Just in the same way that you can't smell your own nose, or you can't kiss your own lips. These are impossible, and these don't make any sense. So in the same way, you can't experience the experiencer. We are separating the experience and I who is having this experience. But this separation is only in the mind. In reality, there is only experience. There is no experiencing an experience, just as you can't hear hearing. But I'm 100% sure that you have already experienced this state of not separating yourself from the experience. And that was when you were really happy. You see, when we're happy, this separation between me and the experience stops. We allow the experience to be all, to be total. We kind of like forget ourselves in the experience. We're so aware of this present moment that we stop trying to separate ourselves from the experience that we are having. But the thing is that when we are in pain, we do the exact opposite thing. We divide ourselves. We separate ourselves from our experience. We make this distinction between the experience and me having the experience. So we go round in circles, trying to save myself from this experience. We think that we can get rid of it. But it's just as stupid as you sitting on a chair and trying as hard as possible not to feel the chair pressing against your body. Now, of course, you can try and get up to stand up from the chair, and of course you stop feeling the chair pressing against your body, but you cannot get rid of the sensation of you feeling the chair up against your body. You gotta realize that you cannot escape this present experience because you are nothing else than what you know right now, and that is this present experience. You can't just escape from this present moment. That is impossible. Everything happens now in this present moment. So when you're in pain and you're trying to separate yourself from your experience, you gotta realize that you cannot do that. And the only option that you have is to be fully present of the pain, to face the pain, to be just as conscious of the pain as you are as conscious of the happiness, as you are so absorbed when you are totally blissful and happy. Have you ever thought about why it doesn't seem like our body can heal our mental pain just in the same way it heals our physical pain? When we got a cut, for example, our body takes care of that. Why can they do that for our mental pains also? For our fear, our anxiety? Well, our bodies do have that capacity. Our bodies can adapt to mental pain amazingly. But we can only access this ability once we stop trying to run away from it. Once we stop separating ourselves from that pain. Because this separation, this escaping, us trying to evade this present experience takes effort, and this effort creates this tension in our bodies. It creates this tension, and in this tension, pain flourishes. And once this tension stops, once this separation and trying to evade, once this all stops, our body tends to our mental pain just as our physical pains. It tends to them by absorbing them. Absorbing the pain just in the same way as water absorbs a blow or a cut. It doesn't take any effort. Water absorbs a blow. If I punch the water, it absorbs it with no effort. So somehow we gotta get rid of this separation, this trying to evade this present moment. But have you realized that when you are happy, totally blissful, you don't stop and say to yourself that I am happy, this is happiness. In fact, you are so present in that moment, so immersed in it, that you don't even stop to think. Like really think about it. Remember back to the time when you were so happy. You weren't really like even thinking in that moment. You were just totally immersed in it. We only start thinking again once the intensity of the happiness goes down. Or that we remember that this happy experience is going to end. Only then do we start thinking and naming it happiness and comparing it. But in that moment, we are so present that we don't even try to compare it with any other past experiences. We don't give it a name because naming is based on opposites. Naming is based on polarities. For me to say that this is happiness, I must know what sadness is like. In reality, we can't compare an experience with another experience. For example, we can't really compare happiness with sadness because to compare two experiences means to alternate between them really fast. But there is no way that you can authentically alternate between being happy and being sad. You just can't switch between the two. To compare something, for example, a dog and a cat, you need to look at the dog and then the cat and the dog and then the cat, switching between them fast. But you can't do that with experiences. You can only compare it to a memory of an experience, which is not even close. A memory of happiness doesn't even come close to the experience of happiness, to happiness itself. And just like words, memories cannot capture reality. They are abstract. Memories help you to get a knowledge about something, but not a knowledge of something. It cannot capture the essence of an experience, the intensity of this reality. Just like you can't, even no matter how hard you try to explain what red looks like to a blind person, you won't be able to do that, because you cannot compare the experience of red with a memory. You can't put it into words. So memories are they're like a corpse. They're dead. They're empty of any life. Memories are just second-hand knowledge. They are dead because they don't change. We can be sure of a memory. We know that it doesn't change, it's how it is. But reality, this present moment, is always unknown. It's always changing. For example, your memory of a dead cat just reiterates what it was. But a real cat, you don't know what it's going to do next. It can do something and you don't know what it's going to be. This is the real difference. Memories are dead in this perspective. So there are two ways of understanding this present experience. On the one hand, you can compare it to memories of past experiences, naming them and defining them as such. But this means interpreting them through the lens of something dead, through the lens of memories, which is dead and it has already passed. And on the other hand, you can be aware of this experience as it is, without naming it, without judging it. Just like how you are totally aware when you're fully blissful and happy. You forget the past and the future. You let this present moment to be everything, to be all. You don't stop and think that I am happy. You don't do this separation. You don't divide yourself. You are completely here. The difference between them is knowing something through words or the immediate knowledge of something. Trying to understand something through words is like eating the menu instead of the food. A menu is very useful and important, but it is not the same as the food itself. In the same way, a map is very useful and very great, but it doesn't compare to the city or the land that it describes. The idea is that when we try to understand an experience through memories, it's not as profound as understanding them directly. I hope that you liked part 1 of this series. I will be posting the next parts in a couple of days, so I'll see you in part 2. Have a great day and goodbye.